In terms of male forms, one of the more common elements that we see are going to be these male forms in the form of musicians or in groups. And so while we do find them, it's interesting that the female form is always just standing and the male form tends to be involved in some form of activity or in some kind of social organization. We don't know what that means for the Cycladic peoples, and there aren't that many scholars really working in the area, so it does become problematic. We do know the majority of these are found in graves, and it kind of makes sense. The idea that maybe they're bringing music to the person who they're being buried with. After all, we saw the bull-headed Lyre a couple of chapters ago, which I argue does the same thing. And again, these are simplified geometric forms. Here we see the lyre player on the left and a flute player on the right. And the forms are very abstract, especially the heads. It's as if they went, you know what, we don't really need that much detail. As long as there's a nose, you can kind of tell that it's a head and it's good enough. And the shapes tend to echo one another. For example, we tend to have very triangular forms, sometimes a little bit more, like you see on the one on the right, rectangular or ovalloid forms, rounded forms. But they are definitely of a specific style and form. And again, they would have been painted probably more representationally. They would have been more realistic with the color. And if we dig into it, here's a wide variety of these male musician figures. We have to ask why. Perhaps they're entertaining the deceased. Perhaps a musician was playing in honor of a deity. So this is a representation of the dead playing an instrument in honor of their deity, the deity that they most believed in. Again, very interesting enigmatic forms that we just don't know quite enough about.